Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. Hopefully you've all had a wonderful weekend so far. Today we're going to be diving into our daily cryptocurrency market update, and we've got a lot to cover in this video. We're going to be going over everything, talking about a number of things, looking at a little bit of the news, bringing up a number of things that are really going to highlight to people that despite the price action, the cryptocurrency market is just continuing to get adopted, and the infrastructure to actually support this thriving ecosystem is continuing to be put in place. So we'll be looking at a number of things. Also talking a little bit about Terra 2, or it's now just Terra, and the original Terra is LUNC, Luna Classic, has launched, and it's not really off to a great start, but that may change only on a very small number of exchanges. So let's start things off, as we always do, guys, with looking at Bitcoin, looking at the overall market. Not really doing a lot. You know, it was quite a dull day for crypto, given how the S&P... I mean, look at that for the S&P, guys. What a candle. Also, the NASDAQ been doing very well. Crypto, on the other hand, hasn't really done anything. In actual fact, it closed down and sold off yesterday when you had the likes of your S&P and the NASDAQ sort of pumping. We've also got a weak dollar. You know, the dollar's had a epic run and is now became quite weak. And you'd have thought that would have been the flourishing environment for the cryptocurrency market. And it just hasn't been the case, which I think there's a lot to sort of tell from that. You guys know that ultimately, you know, we do believe you're coming down to 23, 24K. However, moving into next week, I'm going to be looking to close whatever shorts I have over this weekend and probably look to long on a short-term basis, not a hodl pot or anything like that, the cryptocurrency market into next week, because I can see relief coming for this market. And we've given you the setups that we'd like to see. We'd like to see maybe a push up to sort of 33, 34K before we can get a proper swing trade to the downside. And of course, we'll swing trade it to the upside. But ultimately, I think, you know, we're still going to gravitate towards here. And the reason being is because the economic environments that we find ourselves in just simply haven't changed. And that's really all there is to it, to be quite honest. Pulling up the chart, you know, you guys know that we're essentially, and because this is quite messy, I'll just simplify it. We're just in this range here, guys. And we've broken below it twice now, but we've actually come back both times and actually held above it. Very frustrating from a trading point of view, guys, because what I really want to see is some sort of momentum to the up or downside. Right now, we're just ranging, and we have been for like 13, 14 days. Could go on for a lot longer. But ultimately, I am wary, certainly shorting this market going into next week, given the fact that, you know, we may see equities continue to climb. And that's going to, I think, with a weak dollar, support the cryptocurrency market. So I don't want to be sort of swimming against the stream if that does happen. And it's very telling just how you've actually held this and how many times you've tried to come below it and you just simply haven't. There's got to be a bidder here or a number of people that are really trying to stop this from falling. But that is all hearsay and speculation. A couple of things I want to bring up before we talk about Terra 2. We did do a video on it yesterday explaining what it was. You know, these are just some articles. These are just some sectors on Blockworks talking about the crypto space. TradFi outsources trading firms and early entrance to cryptocurrency market. Latest crypto hiring. Binance US doubles down on compliance. Stock picking vet rolling out crypto hedge fund with research heavy adoption. It goes on and on. Portugal Parliament holds off taxing cryptocurrency gains for individuals. You know, Binance gains regulatory approval in Italy. Well, whatever it may be, the cryptocurrency market, despite the price action, continues to see adoption, continues to see the foundations being put in and the infrastructure being put in for it to really be a thriving asset class. I don't think we're there yet. I think crypto is still very much in this grey area. Yes, we know we do have institutional involvement. You know, this year and last should have been a real testimony to that. But ultimately, it's nowhere near where it's going. And that's something, it's very easy to get disheartened when the price is doing what it's doing, not just for Bitcoin, but for altcoins. But one thing that you've really got to always pay attention to is, where is this space going? So in the short term, you know, there's lots of things that are taking place. And the short-term price is naturally going to be volatility given just how new this asset class is. But in the long term, where are we going? And it's always useful to come and look at your long-term logarithmic charts for Bitcoin. and really just see that the trend is up. This is a macro bull market that's going to have swings to the up and downside within it. And it is a space that's only really just getting started. This was an interesting one. How the US can establish itself as a crypto leader. We know that we have regulatory clarity coming for the United States. This is going to be a huge accelerant to crypto and its adoption, in my opinion. Lots of people are looking at this very negatively. And it is rather ironic, I mean, that they're trying to give you permission to use a permissionless space. And I am actually not all against regulation. I think as long as they don't over-regulate it, it could be very, very positive. But I think there's certain areas of the cryptocurrency market that need regulating, or at least need some sort of framework around them. And we at least need to clear up the whole, how is it taxed situation? What is it? How do we define cryptocurrencies itself? Because that's still very grey and uncertain. But this is coming. This has been there. There's an executive order signed at the start of this year by Biden's administration, which essentially tasked various agencies within the US government, gave them 180 days to come up with a bill. And that's essentially, we are a couple of months into that now, guys. So I think that's going to be sooner rather than later into sort of the second half of the year, which could see crypto fly. It could mean spot Bitcoin ETFs get approved. But right now, we still see that further downside and that sort of gravitating towards this lower band of the long-term regression band. So that's still what we're playing. In terms of short-term positions, like I say, I am going to get out my shorts probably this weekend. They've done very well for me. And we're going to look to maybe build some longs up, just simply given the fact that, and by the way, if the market then does tank, we'll cut them very quick. It's not high conviction at this point. Certainly whilst we're in this range, it's just annoying more than anything. I really want to know who's actually just bidding this market up consistently. But yeah, anything else to report? So Terra 2, we did a little bit on Terra 2 yesterday. What Terra 2 is, because people don't even really know what it is. It's basically just Terra 1 without the UST, without their stablecoin. Already 61% down. And I think this is probably, if you think about how many Luna holders would have received this, they're not going to be the happiest hodlers of Terra moving forwards. You can see Terra Classic down here. So they're probably going to want to recoup whatever losses that they have. So I could still see more downside. We did say that it may move like the sort of ape token, which had a run up. And that was really based given on all the exchanges that are sort of backing them. But we'll see, but it is officially here, Terra. It's not Terra 2, it's just Terra. And of course, they've rebranded the original Terra to Terra Classic, kind of like an Ethereum Classic and an Ethereum situation. So we'll see what today brings. I don't really want to bet. I'm still shocked. I want to say annoyed, but you can never be annoyed with markets, to be fair. I'm still really shocked that we're actually still in this range and we've actually reclaimed it. We'll see if it holds, and certainly I think there is the scope for upside, given how the equity market acted and how it closed. I mean, it was a great run for the S&P, the Nasdaq. You had a number of stocks out there, actually, even the likes of Coinbase getting a real bid. Didn't echo through to the crypto space. Is that because there's a sort of delayed response? Potentially, and like I say, if the setup permits, we will actually look to long into next week. Just simply because, we've been holding this for a while now. For me, I can't help but feel like there is definitely the scope for upside. It's very common, actually. You can see the kind of upside runs that you have here. Let's actually get a different Bitcoin chart up so that I can show you. Can you see? Doesn't have to be the case. A very different structure to this. But, when you're sort of holding a level, you're marginally coming lower. It's not impossible to see a break up, and then we get that swing trade to the downside to the sort of targets that we have set. So be careful out there, whatever you're doing in terms of trading. Because this, I think, is a very hard market to play on a sort of intraday basis or intra-week basis. But we'll see what happens. And like I say, we are going to look to take some long setups into next week. So that's really all I've got for you guys. It was just a short and sweet update on everything going on, reminding people about a few things that I'm sure you're all well aware of. And that's really the video. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. If you've enjoyed the content, a like is always appreciated. So is a comment. And I'll catch you all in the next YouTube video. Thanks a lot for watching, guys.